Tobago House of Assembly Chief Secretary Kelvin Charles has expressed grave concern over the change fee announced by Caribbean Airlines. Cal yesterday said it would be applying a TT $50 one-way charge if passengers were to change their flight or date of travel on domestic flights. In a release today, Mr. Charles said he has been in conversation with the Minister of Finance, Colm Imbert, and Chairman of Cal, Mohammed, on the matter. Mr. Charles said the change fee would have serious implications for all using the airbridge, more so Tobagonians who travel to Trinidad, often out of necessity or an emergency.
Mr. Charles said while he understood measures have been taken to deal with abuse of the system, he was concerned about the inability of a passenger to purchase an open ticket without being penalized. And this, he said, it does not seem reasonable or fair to the passenger. The THA Chief Secretary said he has shared his concerns with Finance Minister Colm Imbert and CAL Chairman Mohammed, who have promised to review the clause and revisit CAL's communication to the public. Concern about the penalty fee was also raised at the meeting of the Tobago Chamber of Commerce and at a press conference held by the People's Democratic Party in Scarborough on Tuesday. President of the Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association, Chris James, said the implementation of the penalty would have dire effects on over 7,000 passengers due to coming to the island during this season.
What didn't seem to have been thought out was the international people that arrive in Trinidad to come here. Seems to be no negotiations with other carriers. We were told that Caribbean Airlines would not charge if there was a change in the ticket if you came on a Caribbean Airlines flight internationally to Trinidad and then over to Tobago. But all the other flights, the British Airways, American Airlines, all these other flights that come in, and I was quoted figures this morning, I haven't seen the article from the Newsday, where the Secretary of Tourism said over 7,000 international visitors came via the airbridge.
President of the Inter-Island Transport Committee, Diane Haddad, shared her views on the fee.
Further to that, what they have not done is said, we are going to dedicate 5 aircrafts that were originally bought for the Tobago run to the airbridge, and this is going to be the schedule. You will have flights every half an hour, only half an hour, and therefore, because of this new service we will be offering you to make sure that people of Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension our international guests, can move flowing through the islands between them, that we would like to make these changes, one of which would be, if you don't travel on your booked seat, we will now penalize you. That has not been the case. So it's very cluttered as to what the goal was and what the intention was, what did they want to achieve. We left the meeting not really getting any comfort as to what we wanted to achieve, other than you people are going to be penalized for a service that already doesn't serve you very well.
And at the PDP meeting, Minority Councillor Dr. Faith Yisrael said the management of CAL has no regard for Tobagonians because they are treating the domestic route like a regional or international route.
For the average Tobagonian, this is our bread and butter. This is our way of traveling because we simply do not have access to many of the services that the average Trinidadian has in Trinidad, in Tobago. So for us, this is going to be something that is critical to us. This is going to be something that makes a huge difference in our pockets, because for the average person, that kind of change of date or change of time will take place once a week, twice a week. There are many of us who travel 3 or 4 times per week.
Several people say while they are not opposed to an increase in the domestic fare, the service must first be improved. Janine Brown, C News.